Hello, Jonathan Chandler here, coming to you from the Virginia School of Traditional Arts. Got a review video, or a series of review videos, can't get it out today, that we're going to do, and we're going to review some blacksmithing tools available from Pieh Tool, and we'll leave the information in the description below. I got the box today. We ordered a bunch of stuff. We're going to see how it works. I have made tools similar to these myself before, but sometimes I just don't have the time to mess with making them and gathering up everything, and I just soon be using them. So I want to see what kind of quality the Pieh Tool has. I've heard good things about them, and so I expect them to be wonderful, and we're going to test them out and see what we think of them. And these tools are from the Pieh Tool Company, and it's Pieh Tool Company. And so leave that there. The tongs that I ordered were specifically scrolling tongs, and this is the only pair they had available at the time I ordered them. They have a shorter version just like this, and they have two versions, one this length and one shorter, that bend over and the round points are down. So you get better leverage on things, I guess. But I was going to get all four and see which ones I like the best, which size worked for me. I guess it depends on what you're doing, but so far I like these. They're well made. They're not crazy heavy. You know, sometimes you get nice tools, but some of them are crazy heavy. These are not that heavy, you know, as far as poundage, what they weigh. And we may put them on a scale, but we're going to have a series of the tongs. And then I've got several spring fullers that we're going to try out. And I've made some of these before, and with varying success. I guess it's how many do you make and how often do you do it, to what degree you can be successful. This one is just a straight 1/2 inch spring fuller, and I have made one of these myself, and it works pretty good. But I was wanting to compare a professionally made set to what I do, and see if what we think of it. I like the length of it. It's pretty heavy made, but it's not crazy heavy made. So we'll take a look at that. And then this is the one I really want to try. This is an acorn spring fuller. I've never made one of these, but now that we have one and we can make an acorn, a good solid acorn. Not that I couldn't have made an acorn prior to this, but I think we can probably use this and might make some acorn tooling that would replicate this, and we could make more of these if we needed it, or a different style. I'm thinking about a different style, like half of one, so I could plug weld it from behind and put it on artwork. That's what I'm thinking about. But this we're going to try these out. And then this one is a 1/2 inch ball fuller, and so it's just a round ball at the end of a rod, and it has a little neck to it. So we're going to play with these and see what we think of them. I may do some modifications. We'll see how they work, but I may add some guides on the sides or down here even, so that they match up every time. That's been my experience with these. If they're not held particular ways, they don't fit together. They'll get off and you'll have problems. So we'll see if we need that. May even weld a peg on this that'll fit down into our rig that we've got on our power hammer, so we don't have to hold this. We can stick it in there, and we can operate our tongs in our metal with both hands and just use the power hammer to hit this. So we'll try that. We'll see what about that too. But I'm gonna use them by hand initially with no adaptations, and then we may fix a few more adaptations. And then I've got two slitting chisels, and I bought two because I want to leave one original, and then I'm going to round one edge on this one and point one edge on this one, and see if I like that. I've seen some other blacksmiths doing that, and I've never had one like that. I've always had a flat one like this, but these look to be in good condition. They're super sharp, probably sharper than you actually need them. I mean, they feel like they could cut you like a knife blade. So we may adapt on some of these too, but I am going to dress one of them the way I would want it done, and then leave one of them original just to see which one I like the best. And I called and talked with Pieh Tools, and I was looking for a brush this size basically, but has twice as long of bristles. And they said their distributors do not make that anymore because it's a little less stiff, I guess, than these. The longer the bristles, the more it'll bend, and it's faster to use. I have a big brush with a handle on it, but I think I would like a brush with longer tines on it. This is basically the same exact brush that I already have. This one might have slightly longer teeth on it, so we'll try this one. I like that it's lighter, and the one I have is such a big thing. It's hard to, especially on little stuff, was like all these things we're showing you. Little stuff here, we'd want to brush that quickly and get it clean. So we'll try this out. I'm still looking for a brush with the longer tines, the longer teeth on it. If you know where that's at, I'd love to get one of those and review it too. So drop me a comment and tell me where those can be found. And then the main thing that I bought from them, all of these other things were additions once I got onto the website, but the main thing I bought from them was a whole kit of punches. And you say, well, why are you buying punches? You can make punches. And I have, and I've made lots of punches. These punches are out of S7, which is supposed to be really good for punches. And some of them are easily made. These two are eye punches, round eye punches, different sizes. And this is a little chisel, hot cut, some type of hot cut chisel with a rounded edge. And I bought, it's a 20 pack of them. And the reason I bought these is because the ones I have been making that do the eyes, the punches I've been making that do the eyes, get deformed. It doesn't matter what material I use for it, or I don't know if I'm not heat treating them right, but the little eye gets deformed fairly quickly. I mean, 2 or 3 or 4 things I'm having to dress that eye up. So I'm going to use these, and we're going to see how they're doing. If they'll stay. If they'll stay, that'll suit me. And some of these things we could make. These are fullers. Here's a fuller. Here's a round punch. A ball punch, just round on the end. And here's a center punch. All of these things we can make, but these are all out of S7. They're a whole kit. They're fairly pricey. Now, some of these are specialized. This is I think this is a ear. I think this is the inside horse's ear. So that's some very specialized tools if you're going to make faces and different kinds of eyes. But we have some other fullers here, different sizes, and different size ball punches. Little ones, big ones, medium sized ones, all kinds. I think there's 7 ball punches. There's a little bitty one. Here's another very specialized eye, and it's more of a predator's eye. Prey usually have like a round eye. If you think of what a horse's eye looks like, kind of looks round almost. or a bird's, not a bird's eye, more like a, well, like a dove's eye is almost round. And a predator has an eye that's kind of oval shaped, and this one's oval on the front shaped and then tapers back to a point. So that's more like for a predator. And then we have another one here, and this is a kind of a half oval with a hole in the middle. So that would give you like an eye that's halfway closed. Might even be for a person's eye. Might be what they're doing with that. But that's why I bought these. Some of these eye ones I've never used before. And here's just an oval cat's eye looking eye. It's an oval little ring around it. So some of these I've never even had the opportunity to use before to see if I like them. And here's another predator style eye with the hole in it, so it'll give you the like the white, and then the center of the eye is the hole would be a protrusion. And here's another little teeny eye punch for little small eyes. And this is another ball punch, a big 1/2 inch ball punch. So there's 20 of these punches in this kit. Fairly pricey, like $4.50, but they're all S7. They're all professionally made. We're going to test them and see how they hold up. The ball punches would be easily to make. The center punch, same. The little chisel that's half round, this one would be easy to make. The eye punches, you get into needing the ball punch to make the eye punch, so it's like a series of things that you'd have to have. And then I'm not sure on if I'm heat treating them wrong, or what am I doing wrong, or using the wrong materials. I'm trying to use S7, but it doesn't seem to hold up. So we're going to see if these hold up. So, and they had listed on their website a item that would be like a roll that you'd put these in, and you could roll it all up for 20 bucks. I attempted to order that. That was no longer available. They had another one. They said the original ones, they were having problems with the quality control of them, which I understand. You can't get any help anymore. But they found some better made ones, but they are much more than $20. So I did not order that, and I may go through the trouble of making a peg block for these and put these in, or I may make me I don't know if I do them all in one roll, that'll be crazy heavy, but I may make 2 or 3 rolls, separate out the eye punches, and maybe a roll for the ball punches, and then whatever's left, and make 2 or 3 rolls out of leather, and we'll show you that too. I think I can do that for, I've got the leather, so I know I can do it for less than $20. Alright, it just takes a little time. But making good tooling is expensive in that it costs you time. There's time in all of these things to make them a particular size, heat treat them, and get them just so that they'll work and stay this shape. I can make this shape out of a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch round bar, but you're only going to use it once or twice before it's deformed and it's no count anymore. So, and I had been buying, what I was doing was buying punches that were already made, some old, some new ones, and shaping them into what I wanted, and it's just seemed never to stay. So I bought these, and we're going to try those out. Alright, first one with this eye punch. We'll see what she'll do. Okay, that's good. I punched a hole in it. One leg probably will work from now on. me hard and it was hot. So I think that's good. I think that is good. Number 4, he's looking better and better. I got him a little deeper, a little colder metal and a little deeper with the punch. Seemed to make the best eye. Alright, but that's the last one. And with what I'm doing, this is 1/8 inch material or less. In 2 hard licks, you can knock a hole right through it. But what I've been doing is basically tapping it and tilting it a little bit, and that seems to make the circle open up a little bit that's cutting in. So that seems to work for us. We did 5 of these little fish today. Cool them off, make sure. Alright, let's see what we got. We did 5 eyes in short order there. This does not even have a burr on it or anything. This looks very nice. When I make the little fish and the bears and whatever I'm making, you know, I'll punch 2-3 dozen eyes in an hour or a couple hours. And so I need a punch that's going to hold up. I don't have to stop and work on the punch. And I think I found it. I think this one's as good as you need. And I have several sizes of this. This is the medium one, and I'll try to put on what exact size it is. It might be the, I don't know, bigger than an 1/8, so it's probably the 1/4. I think I got an 1/8, a 1/4, and maybe 5/16, something. There's 3 sizes. This is the medium one. And I'm going to do some deer, and their heads are a lot smaller than the fish, so I'm going to try a littler eye. Prior to this, I've been using the same eye punch, and the deer's eyes always kind of look big, like they scared or something. But we'll try a littler one on the deer and see if it looks okay. Here's what one of them looks like after we cleaned them up. And I guess that's what I want. I've noticed on this particular eye tool, it's fairly deep, so it's meant for a deeper, thicker piece of metal. And so I'm going to try some bears here in a minute, and we're going to use the smaller one and see what we get on that. I like the size of this one, but it's a little bit, I guess I'm just getting the edge of it. I'm not getting the dome shape in the middle at all, which is okay. I mean, that doesn't bother me at all, but that's for a deeper, like you're putting it in a, you know, horse's head or a face or something. I think I like these. That looks fine to me. I guess the right-handed hair. My hair looks better this side. I'm going to just put his little nostril on there. We don't need to do that high. We can take our time and get it better. And like I said, I forget what I did with the ear. I might put a little cut in it. Look at one that I've already done. I think that's looking right. Alright, here's our little bear. We've cleaned him up on the wire wheel. He's ready to go in the oven or heat him with the torch. Sometimes I'll do the fish with the torch and that kind of gives them multicolors, kind of like a fish. A bear is more of a brown critter. If you put him in the oven at a certain temperature, you get different browns. I would punch in my nose with the center punch. We're kind of doing a review of these punches. The small eye punch seems to be the right one for what I'm doing. It looks better than the bigger one. The bigger one was giving me the circle, but not rounding it. And that's nothing to do with the punch other than I'm using just such thin material. If you were using thicker material, it would be awesome. I did notice no damage on any of the eye punches. I did notice just ever so slightly we rolled over that sharp edge on this chisel. And it was sharp enough to cut you, so that, in my opinion, that's not the way you use a hot cut. And I probably should have dulled it up to start with, but that's all I'll do now is I'll just either take my sander or my file and I'll just knock off that burr and just round it over just a little bit. You don't want it sharp like a razor to cut metal, at least I don't. I want it to push it a little bit more than cut it. Particularly what we're doing with it, we're not trying to cut something off with this, we're just trying to put a mark in it. So, but I did notice that sharp edge did roll. We'll round this up just a smidge, take that back off, and we'll try it again on a couple other items and give it another shot if we just take that sharp edge off. And I think that's probably what you need to do. But the eye punches have held up very well. I'll get the fish and show you that one too. To compare, of course they're different sizes, but this one you're seeing some of the dome on it, and this one you're not. Let me get it over here, make sure we're in the center here. And I think that's okay. The fish's eye can look a little different than the bear's eye. We can go back with a center punch if we want to and put a dot in the middle of his eye too. You can do all that cold. You don't have to do any of that hot because you're using a center punch. But this is what we're doing. We're going to be at the Heritage Festival this Friday and Saturday, and so we're making up a few more little bottle openers. These sell pretty good. Depends on where you're at, though. I have some elk, and we live in Virginia, and what we're doing is right here in our hometown of South Boston. And people don't buy the elk here. If you go farther west, Wise County and that, there are elk in those counties over in the western part of the Virginia, and they'll buy your elk. But around here, people don't buy the elk usually. But we do bears and fish, two kinds of fish. We do a bass. This is supposed to be a perch or a bluegill. You can call it a crappie if you want to, and then we have a bass shape, and then we'll do a white-tailed deer and the bear. We have 4 or 5 versions of it, but they sell pretty good. I don't charge a whole lot. Like I said, I try to do them in one heat. These fish, I took 3 heats on these fish, and that was mainly because my animal was cold, my forage was cold, everything was cold, and it just takes longer. It sucks all the heat out quicker. And so, but I like these particular fish. If I was going to buy one, this would be the one I would buy. I like this. You can get lots of detail in the fins. And when you pound out your bottle opener, it kind of looks like scales, and I run it up here a little taller most of the time to give it a few more scales. Whereas the bear, I try to hit exactly in the same place and don't give him scales. Kind of run the lines over him. so he looks like he's got hair on him. Anyway, so Pieh tool, so far we've tested this chisel that came in our set. We've tested 2 of the 3 eye punches. So far I'm happy with all of them. This chisel, like I said, just the sharp edge is rounded over on us. I'm gonna clean that up and we'll try it again and make sure it's just that sharp edge. But we're gonna make some more of these. And next time I'll put a plate down on my anvil to cut on. I don't think I hit the anvil with this. I was trying to be careful and not, but I could have slipped and hit the anvil with that. I don't see any marks on the anvil, so I don't think I did it, but we'll clean this one up and try them again, just round it over a little bit. I hope this has helped. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.